So if you could like talk to yourself like back when you first touched that Game Gear to play the Sonic game, and you told yourself you're gonna do an entire Symphony show, a worldwide tour, what do you think you would say?
I mean, like Okinawa was a tiny island,
Yeah.
and back then, like we had no information. So like, I probably would have said, "What is a concert?" Or like whatever. It's
Really?
like because my knowledge was just so limited.
Right.
Back then, like we only had two TV channels, and I would ask my grandma like, "Hey, can I want to eat the snack, candies, or whatever it is." And she's like, "Cut the sugar cane outside." And that's
Sugar cake.
yeah,
Okay.
and that's literally what we had, and that's the only thing we had. Like we didn't have a supermarket around us, and as a kid to walk, it's too far, and we didn't have a shower. We had a hose. so so yeah, I grew up in that kind of environment,
Okay.
and so yeah, back then if somebody said like Sonic Symphony, I'm like, what are you talking about?
Right.
Like I don't understand this like foreign concept.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome to another edition of Sonic Historian. I am here with a very special guest, Shota Nakama.
Hey, thank you for inviting me over.
Well, first, maybe you should probably introduce yourself a little bit for somebody who doesn't probably know who you are.
Right. So yes, my name is Shota Nakama. I produce Sonic Symphony. Sonic Symphony is the official Sonic the Hedgehog concert tour, and we have a rock band and orchestra on stage, and we perform music from Sonic the Hedgehog, completely in sync with the video on screen and lighting and all this stuff. It's a pretty spectacular symphonic rock redemption of Sonic the Hedgehog, I guess.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah, and we have singers, and we all sing along, and yeah, it's that's what I do right now. Yeah.
You've been very active on Twitter.
Yes.
And there was one tweet that you wrote where you said, I know there are Sonic fan websites out there.
Yeah.
I'd love to do interviews and stuff with them all.
Mhm.
I mean all.
Yeah.
I just want everyone to know Sonic Symphony because it is the best concert out there. Seriously. So what
Yeah.
would you say is the primary motivation behind writing this?
The traditional mindset of producers, or traditional way to produce concerts, is like you and your team make a show, and then you kind of just throw it out there and say like, see if you like it or not. And I didn't really want that approach for Sonic Symphony. I wanted to create something with the community because, like, obviously the Sonic community is like very, very strong and passionate.
Right.
Instead of me talking about the show, I wanted to hear their ideas, and that was the primary motivation, I think.
So I mean, with the Sonic Symphony, you wear a lot of hats.
Yeah.
You're kind of like you're the producer. You're kind of you're marketing this a little bit. You're
Right.
you're working with like the orchestra. You're working with the band.
Yeah.
Because what I understand is like you're a big gamer, right? You've like
Oh yeah. And then I guess like I can't really call myself a gamer right now, but yeah, growing up, I holy man, like holy crap, I played so much. I had a lot of game consoles, and
could you list all the game consoles you had?
yes, I can. So Famicom, Game Boy, Super Famicom, Game Gear, Mega Drive, Genesis, Virtual Boy,
Virtual Boy, okay.
and I don't know if you know Setlist.
I don't know that.
Exactly. Like nobody knows this in the U.S. And this was an add-on to Super Famicom, and so you could put this to the bottom of Famicom.
Okay.
So it like makes it like a brick.
Right.
But yeah, so like I had that too. That's like a rare thing to have, and PlayStation 1, 2, Dreamcast, Saturn.
Saturn. Oh,
Yeah.
I guess in Japan, Saturn is more of a hit.
Yeah, exactly.
How would you say the transition is or was from rock and roll from video games?
Yeah, so like I watched this band in Okinawa. It's just like a random, like completely random encounter, and I wasn't a music guy,
Okay.
and I used to listen to classical music too, but because I did piano a little bit, but I definitely wasn't into like rock or pop or like any of those. And one day I saw this band, pretty popular band in Okinawa, covering Deep Purple.
Okay.
And they played Smoke on the Water, Highway Star, and all that stuff. And I was like, I have to play guitar. And so I begged my mother, I have to play guitar. And so she, so my uncle, like her younger brother, like he
Yeah.
used to play in the band. So he's like, yeah, I got a bunch of guitars, so I give you one. So he gave me one, and it got to my place and opened the case, and like so guitars like this, and I grabbed it, and that was it. I was like, okay, music, it is.
Huh.
So then like
That-
immediately I
wow.
lost interest in like everything else. Like immediately, like this was an immediate transition. Like just that was it.
Huh.
Yeah, and then like I stopped touching games like completely. That was just like a very interesting
Wow.
phenomena, almost like yeah. And everyone's like, what the hell happened to him?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I stayed in my room and just like played guitar for like I don't know.
What age was this?
This was like when I was I think 15. I think.
Okay.
Yeah, and yeah, I would just play all day, all night long, and every morning I would just wake up with the guitar. I'm sleeping like this, and
Wow,
I
that's
wake up and like,
dedication there.
yeah, but like I was like that into it, and then like I instead of spending money for games, I spend money for CDs. That was the
Right,
difference,
right,
but
right.
and I always liked the Western music and rock and roll from LA, UK, and other places, and I wasn't really not into the Japanese music. Yeah, so yeah, it made sense for me to kind of start thinking of going to America.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm gonna go eventually. I'm gonna go eventually. But of course, like as a 15-year-old, and I didn't go to high school, by the way. I did not go. So like,
Right.
but like one day, like when I turned 18, this friend of mine, he's like, he knew somebody in Seattle, and this person used to be the international student coordinator of this like little college, community college, and he's like, do you want to go? Like, hell yes.
Yeah.
And I said, yes, of course I will go. And I said, when? He's like, in 5 days. And so then I'm going. So I talked to my band. See you guys, I'm quitting.
Yeah.
And I had a girlfriend too. Like, see you, I'm quitting. Yeah, like that. So like,
Wow.
when I make big
Okay.
decisions, I tend to just completely like change.
Really?
Yeah. So that was really it. I told everybody I'm not coming back. That's it. And so I flew, and yeah,
That's incredible.
I stayed.
So, when it came to like when you first set up the Sonic Symphony,
Mhm.
were there a couple of songs you had in your head like right away? Like, I need to play this.
Yeah, like
I mean,
we.
besides like Green Hill and all that.
Right, of course, I know. Also, like Live and Learn. You can't. I don't think you can do a Sonic show without Live and Learn.
Oh, right. Right.
Because that's like like doing a Deep Purple concert, not playing Smoke and Water, and people are like, why?
Yeah.
So yeah, yeah, there are a few songs like that. Endless Possibility is one of my favorites. Yeah, Escape from the City, great song, and yeah, so like there are a bunch of like songs that I like, but I wasn't too familiar with Sonic Frontiers songs. Then Otani-san's like, we want to play this, like through it all, Undefeatable, and I'm like, guys, like this is so hard. So I could practice my ass off, and we managed to do it. But yeah, like I started really liking the Sonic Frontiers songs.
Really?
And actually, like I can talk about this now. So
Okay.
for tomorrow's show, we're premiering 2 new arrangements, and we're gonna be playing Find Your Flame and also I'm Here.
Okay.
Yeah, so this completes the Sonic Frontiers vocal songs, and
Right.
they're just like having we are playing them back to back 4 songs in a row, and like it's like we call it Otani Marathon.
Oh, okay.
It's just like such
Alright.
intense songs, like all of them in a row, and we're like really like these are intense songs, like they're hard. You have to practice every day to execute them, and it's like yeah, it's sort of like being an athlete, right? And your arms if you're slack for like 3 days, you can't play these songs. You have to like practice. So yeah, like there's a lot of prep happening for these songs, but like I think we're finally nailing the songs, and I'm excited. And I wrote the scores for the orchestra too, and I'm excited that people can finally hear these songs. Yeah, and we weren't supposed to say until the Tokyo show,
Okay.
but obviously this is coming out like
Yeah,
after
I mean,
the show.
this isn't live. So
Yeah, so yeah, like we're good. And I think for the Toronto show next week, we're gonna play these songs too. Yeah, so yeah, I think we'll be integrating these songs into our set. Yeah.
Okay. Well, personally, I was going to say, as me as a Sonic fan,
Mhm.
one thing that kind of drove me back to the IP, the franchise,
Mhm.
was number one, like Sonic Mania and the movie that came
Mhm.
out. For yourself, like, what is it like? Are there any like memories that you have of Sonic that are like really like, in your mind, like
Mhm.
when you think about like doing
Yeah.
the show. Or
Yeah.
like when you were approached to do the show, you're like, oh, Sonic, I remember this. What would you say that is?
I think this was when I was 10 years old.
Okay.
My friend, this is before I owned a Game Gear.
Okay.
And this friend of mine, neighbor, he brought this black big thing like to my place, and I'm like, what is this? I don't have this.
Gear,
I don't have this console. And what is this? Like, wow, the screen is great, like bright and color, and everything's great, but the battery drains so fast. Yeah, but you know, like these were like stupid things we used to say as a kid. But then he had Sonic.
Right.
And that was the initial encounter of mine with Sonic. And I do believe this was when I was 10, because like that's when Sonic 1 came out, like I think 1991.
So if you had like a favorite character that's not Sonic in the Sonic universe, do you have one?
I would say Tails.
Tails, okay.
Yeah, because he's super nice.
Okay.
And supportive, very supportive. And I want to have something like that too. So,
right.
Yeah.
Is it possible for you to play us a Sonic song?
I don't know. Well, I don't have a pick right now, but.
Oh, you don't? Okay.
Yeah.
Do you?
Oh,
okay.
Of course he's prepared.
I should have asked this earlier.
Yeah, pick is somewhere in my hand.
This is the pickpocket. That's what this is for.
All right.
Right.
Of course. And you use Jazz 3?
3.
Oh my God. You're a guitar player. Yeah. Yeah, it took me like a while to like transcribe all these songs too, and I did transcribe them because there are no existing scores, so I basically transcribed all the band songs like you hear on the set. Like I had to transcribe everything first.
Do you think you could show the camera a little bit of your guitar?
Yes.
And, you have tons of stickers on it.
Yeah, so like this was just a random thing. So every show that we did, people started handing me stickers, and I was like, where do I put them? Like, I don't want to put them on guitar cases because they're gonna fall, and I can't just keep them at home because then like, why? And so I'm like, you know what? Let's just put that on the guitar. So I started doing that, and the more people started giving me stickers, and they're like, hey, can you put mine too? I'm like, okay, there's only so much real estate I have, but I guess I just kept putting them on.
Right.
Yeah, and I think more to come. Yeah, if people give me more, and then I have another guitar now, so I can do that too, and maybe like, you know, so like on top of each other too, and we can do that. Just eventually this will become like fully Sonic.
right. You can run out of room.
Yeah, but it's cool. Like this is like another thing, like you know, related to like what I was talking about, like building the show with the fans, and I want them to be a part of it, part of the show with their stickers even, and it feels great.
Do you remember each person who gave you every sticker, or is it?
Yeah, because like I follow them on Twitter. And,
Excellent.
Yeah, because like once I receive a sticker and this person says like, hey, like that's mine, I'm like, okay, follow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you want Shota Nakama to follow you on Twitter, make sure you get a sticker.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the easiest way. Yeah.
All right. Well, Shota Nakama, I want to thank you for agreeing to do this interview and sitting down with me and here in this Noah studio here in Tokyo, Japan. So I want everybody to go see the Sonic Symphony show if it's coming to your town. I don't know if it is or not. Check your local listings. You should be able to find it. Thank you, Shota.
Thank you, man. Good talking to you.
Yeah. Next time on Sonic Historian, we've got an exclusive interview with Otani Tomoya, the composer behind Sonic's most iconic tracks, including Escape from the City, Reach for the Stars, and many more. Plus, we'll explore his extensive work on Sonic Frontiers. Stay informed for updates on this very short interview recorded just hours before the Tokyo Sonic Symphony show. And if you enjoyed this episode of Shota Nakama, we'd love to hear your thoughts on who you'd like to see as a possible future guest. Oh, and tell a friend to watch.